Hey, Black Hollywood Live fans. Today's guest has a long list of collaborations, and she's being backed by the legendary Quincy Jones. We're going to talk about her album, tours, and her recent PBS special. Stay, keep it locked right here on Black Hollywood Live.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, Black Hollywood Live. I'm your host, Ashley Allen, and today we have a very special guest, Miss Sheléa. Introduce yourself. How are you?
Hey, girl, hey.
How you doing?
I'm Shelea, and I'm so glad to be here with you guys today.
Well, we're very happy to have you today.
We're excited.
Yes. And you guys know, introduce yourself.
Okay. I have to introduce myself. I'm Daryl Kristen. I'm happy to be here, president of Black Hollywood Live, but I get to be the co-host today with Ashley. And, I'm excited to be here. So
Yes.
I love being at this table. This is so
it's a cool table,
fun,
right?
Cool table. I love it.
There's a lot of melanin up here today.
It
Yes, yes.
Right.
Popping. It's
Yes.
popping.
And Leo Virgos.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot
Yes.
of, a lot of power over here.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so you've been in the industry for a long time. You have a lot of experience, a lot of people backing you, a lot of legends under your belt.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have, in particular, Quincy Jones giving you the stamp of approval?
Man, it's surreal. It's really surreal. Like, this was somebody I've looked up to my whole life. I remember being a little girl and looking at his albums and, just wondering, would I ever even meet him? Just meet him, let alone him, want to work with me and then sign me and then present me, Quincy Jones presents Sheléa, a PBS special.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
oh my
huge.
goodness, it's surreal. He just turned 86 last week and I was at his home. We were celebrating and I'm just looking around. I was just the Oscar just casually hanging out.
Sitting right there.
Chillaxing.
The Emmy just,
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. Like I never, this is beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Truly.
And happy belated birthday to him,
Yes.
by the way.
That's right.
Quincy,
Happy belated birthday.
We love you.
Yes.
And then you, as Ashley was saying, when Quincy Jones eyes you as somebody who's special, he's actually dubbed you the greatest artist of your generation.
man.
Listen,
That's
he's
big.
worked with Michael, Stevie, Frank Sinatra,
Billie
Tamia,
Holiday,
Sarah
Billie
Vaughan,
Holiday,
Sarah Vaughan,
and to
it's-
be
it's- yeah.
in that caliber. And just even for him to just like eye you like that, that's first of all to give you props.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's
Round of
unbelievable.
applause. You, girl.
Thank you guys. Honestly, it really, and I know people say this, but it's humbling though. It makes me feel, I don't want to use the word small, but it's just you realize that there's obviously something so much bigger working at hand. I'm a believer, and so I believe like, man, God has just orchestrated this moment for me to meet him, and that's what makes it feel like it's so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so I just feel blessed.
And where'd you two physically meet at?
At his house.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
At his house. Ricky Minor, who is the music director for so many people. Of course, he was on the Tonight Show for many years, American Idol. He did so much stuff with Whitney and all the rest. Anyway, he just did the Oscars.
Yeah.
So he was putting together this little small event at Quincy's home, and he does events all the time. And just asked to meet, brought me in and said if I could do a couple of numbers. And Quincy immediately was like, I want you to be the first vocalist at my club, do a residency in Dubai. He had just opened a jazz club in Palazzo Versace, Dubai. And so I went and moved to Dubai for 2 months and was doing his residency at Q's.
How do you even process
what
some
I'm
news
saying.
like that? Like,
I'm
what
jealous.
are you thinking?
I wish I could sing.
Oh my gosh! Seriously, I always said if I had a talent that I could pick, it would be singing.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, like, honestly, there is nothing more magical than singing.
Yeah.
And because you create something out of nothing, and then you see how your song can like literally touch somebody's heart.
Yes.
Around the world.
Yeah.
And it just came from an idea that was in your head.
Yeah.
And then it went to, you got on the mic and then you got to the studio and then you put it out and then it's like that was magic. That was a spiritual, godly thing. And, you know, so I have to say that would be the right gift to pick.
Like, and then like music is a universal language. Like, I don't care what language you speak. Like, everyone loves some type of music. And it's a form of therapy too. Yes. At least for me.
No, it is actually real therapy. I mean, music therapy is a real thing. Yeah. You know, and I've seen it work. You know, I've seen it work. And there's nothing, you know, I think, and that's why it's such a huge responsibility when you are given that gift to use it, you know, I don't want to say the word wisely, but just use it like just responsibly, like use it to uplift, to, you know, to bring hope, to make somebody think, you know, to make them happy, to make them, you know, maybe a little, make them sad. Sometimes you need to feel it, you know, just make you feel something. You know, it's the ultimate equalizer. You know, I don't care where you come from, your
that's true.
You know, your ethnicity, your financials, whatever. It's like, that's, you hear a song that reminds you of something, like that's gonna, you know, it's gonna do what it takes you back.
I agree. I agree with that.
So how did your PBS special come about? If you guys missed it, it's PBS special, Quincy Jones Presents Shelea. So how did that come about? Were you fully involved in the creative process? How was that preparation?
You know, it's so funny. I just watched it for the first time yesterday.
You did?
I did. Because I've been so busy. I haven't, you know, of course I was there, but but you know, the edit and everything. I was just telling someone yesterday, I was like, when I look back, they gave me complete control, complete freedom. And I was looking at like, wow, they really trusted me with that, especially, you know, my first independent show, Totality. So I have done many PBS specials in the past. The first one I did was a tribute to Burt Bacharach and Hal David. That was at the White House. That was when President Barack Obama was still there. I brought my daddy. It was an amazing time. And then I did another one. I was like, man, God, really? I get to go to the White House twice?
Yeah.
I did another tribute to Ray Charles. I did a duet with Anthony Hamilton, The Right Time, which was one of the most electrifying moments of my life.
His voice is sick.
Yeah, we got a standing ovation that night. It was amazing. We got President Obama and Michelle Obama to stand on up there. Hey, it was amazing. And then I did this another PBS special in Budapest with Zoltan Maga and David Foster. That was earlier last year. And then I did another one for Tina Turner. It was called A Grammy Salute to Music Legends. So PBS and I were very well acquainted. Yes. Going way before, you know, Reading Rainbow and Sesame Street too.
Yeah, they've come a long way.
Now I watched their great performances. So they, you know, we had, you know, I was doing all of these shows where I wasn't necessarily, it wasn't the whole show. I was just featured. Yes. And so Mara Daly, who's, you know, one of the executive producers, she said, it's time for you to do your own, you know, in Totality, you know, and they just basically said, just come up with a show. I mean, everything, the dialogue, everything, the banter, it was really just my journey. It came from my heart. Yeah.
Well, we're in such an interesting time with music because some people say that everything sounds the same.
Right.
How do you go and keep your music authentic but still stay relevant to where we're at right now?
That's such a good question. I don't think it hasn't been phrased that way. And I think it's hard because there's so much music out there.
So much.
Now. Yeah. It's
oversaturated almost.
It's oversaturated, you know, and you try to figure out like, how do I break through?
Yeah.
And I think for me is I have to stay true to myself. Because if it's not going to be, you know, authentic for me, I can't keep producing something that's not real.
Right.
And not authentic. So, you know, it has to like touch me first. And I know that's the way it's going to be able to resonate with others. But, you know, Quincy, he even mentioned, you know, in a previous interview, he was saying how, you know, you got to study the greats to like to really find your voice too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, and I think when you respect all the artists that have come before you and don't think that, oh, okay, I can just come up with something on my own without looking back, going down musical history lane, you know, I think that has made me a stronger artist. And I think that's what he is hearing. It's like, yeah, I'm Shelea, but he does hear little Sarah Vaughan. Yeah, he does hear little Aretha. He hears a little Whitney and all the people that I've loved and studied. I mean, I grew up in a Christian kind of background family, and so a lot of gospel music, the Winans, the Hawkins, you know,
The good
and
stuff.
the good
The
stuff,
good stuff.
you
The
know?
feel good stuff.
That real soul.
It's all of that is a part of me, and that's what I was so honored about the PBS special, is that they allowed me to show every facet and every shade of who I am.
Yeah.
How'd you know when you could sing? Were you, when you were just sitting around with like a little brushing your hair, dancing in front of the TV, watching somebody, and you were like, I can sing.
I know, it's funny. I don't even remember thinking that. It was almost like music was always a
Just
part of
always
my
there.
life.
Okay.
Because my mom, she's a great singer. She plays the piano. My dad is a great songwriter, but I only saw them use their gift in church. So
Yeah.
honestly, I thought that was going to be the extent of it. But like my mom's, like in my baby book, she'll be like, you were harmonizing at 2 years old. Like if I saw a 2-year-old do that, I mean, that would be like kind of freaky. Like,
Yeah.
how are you hearing harmony?
Yeah.
You know, even like as early as 11 months, like she said, somebody would sing a note and I would like sing the exact note.
Wow.
So I had a very strong musicality, and I had this little brown wooden piano. I can still see it. I would like make little songs for my sisters and stuff. So it's not about like, oh, when did I know when I could sing? It was almost like I just was always
It's
singing.
just there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just there.
I wonder if she sang to you when you were in the womb,
She
'cause
probably
yeah.
did.
that's-
Yeah.
You hear it, and then,
Yep.
When
Yep.
did it turn from just being a hobby or being fun to this is what I want to do?
You know, I had joined this group, this girls group, and we were like the gospel Destiny's Child.
Okay. Were you Beyonce?
I don't know. I don't want to say.
She's like, but I am solo
Right.
here doing PBS specials. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
So we got the answer already.
I'll let the Leo say it.
Just saying.
I'm not saying what I'm just saying. And so that was really like my first taste of just being in the industry. So like going to the studio and writing and producing and just being immersed in that culture.
Yeah.
So before then, I was just only singing in church, and that was just the extent of it. So
Yeah.
that was like the first time where it's like, oh, I can do this like for real, for real. Like this is like, this could be my career. This could be my job. Like this is it. I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that moment where it was like, no, I don't want it to be a hobby. I don't want it to be just something I just do, in church. I really want to do this
Yeah.
as a life path,
And then the album came out this month.
Oh.
And, you work with people like Stevie Wonder. You already mentioned some of the other greats that you have. But who is it? Well, let me start with this. What's your favorite track on the album?
That's
I know
so
mine.
hard. Oh, okay. So tell me what's yours first.
Mine are I Won't Believe My Eyes
Oh, I love that
and
song
Make Me
too.
Rainbows.
Make Me Rainbows. Okay, those are good choices. I would have to say my favorite one is Will Someone Ever Look at Me That Way? And the reason I choose that one is because that's how I met the Bergmans.
Okay.
So, this latest album, Pretty World, a tribute to Alan and Marilyn Bergman, it's obviously based on all the songs that they have written. And just to give you background who they are, they wrote The Way We Were for Barbra Streisand. They wrote In the Heat of the Night for Ray Charles.
Wow.
They wrote the theme to Good Times.
Oh, well, hello.
I mean, and
Now
then
the theme's in my head. I can hear it. Ain't we lucky we got him? Yeah.
Good Times.
I was hoping you. Go ahead, sing it, girl.
She was Beyonce. We're going to say it. You heard that.
That proved it
That's
right there.
Beyonce.
That proved it.
Hello.
Not an octave lower. I'm just playing around. But yeah, so they literally have written for. I mean, I go to their house. They're so cute. They're the cutest little couple. They are in their 90s now. Been married. I don't know how long, but easily 60 years, easily, if not more. And so in love, so in love. And they have written all these beautiful love songs just to show how far back they go. Frank Sinatra gave them their first break. So they wrote Nice and Easy for Frank Sinatra. So
Wow.
you go to their house, it's Oscars, Golden Globes, it's Grammys. I mean, it's amazing. So I met them. I was doing this event for ASCAP, and I just had this chance meeting with them and ended up singing that song. Will Someone Ever Look at Me That Way was from the soundtrack Yentl, which actually got them one of their Oscars. One of the Oscars. And that was a movie with Barbara Streisand as well. She was also a director on that.
Okay.
And incredible story. If you haven't seen the movie, it's so good. It's basically about a woman who in back in those days couldn't read the Word of God, and so her dad was an instructor on it, a rabbi, I guess, and when he dies, she pretends to be a man so she can study.
Oh wow!
Because women weren't allowed to read it.
Yeah.
Back in those days, and so but then she falls in love with a man, but he thinks she's a guy. And so it was actually very much so before their time, because it's, it kind of has like this scene where she's like, well, I don't want to give it away, but
I feel like they're going to remake this movie.
I know.
they should.
I feel like that's going to be one that we'll see soon.
Yeah.
Something like
It would be brilliant, honestly. But so it was from that soundtrack, and so Alan and Marilyn, they couldn't believe I knew the song, because Papa Can You Hear Me was kind of like the big song from that particular film, and Will Someone Ever Look at Me That Way was kind of like the rare kind of hidden gem, but I just really loved it, and so I go to the piano and I play it and sing it for them, and they both started crying because they hadn't heard it in like decades.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it was just such a moment that I'll just never forget. I start crying, and so I can't pick my favorite song that they've written because they're all so good, but that one just has such a personal meaning because that's really what started it all. How I even came to do the album.
And the album is very much jazz based, correct?
It is, it has a little bit of everything, and that's what is so unique about the Bourbons, is that they can write for somebody like a Frank Sinatra and then turn around and write for a Ray Charles and a Barbra Streisand and the rest. So like there's a song like Love Makes the Changes that was originally for Ray Charles, and so that's like a soul record.
Yeah.
And then you've got, of course, the orchestral arrangements of like What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life, and then the big band of your song Make Me Rainbows, which is like, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, kind of makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
It's like it's just fun, sexy, this jazz big band up tempo song. So it gives you, and then my brothers, who honestly I mention in every interview, they really gave me my first break. Take Six, 10-time Grammy Award winning group. They're Quincy loves them too, and they've done so much.
Because they've been
him.
on his one of his albums.
Oh yeah, Setembro. Yeah, a Brazilian wedding song. Yeah, which was also in, what movie was that in? Boys in the Hood.
It was Boys in the Hood.
It was Boys in the Hood.
Say,
Yeah. So they're on this album, and there's an a cappella kind of vocal moment too. So it's this album really it's very much so like my journey. There's so many different shades to it, and sometimes that can be, I'll be honest, it can be the kiss of death in the industry. It's like, well, who is she? She does the jazz, she does the gospel, because that's my roots, and then my first album was actually an R&B album, and had a lot of success on the R&B charts, the Billboard charts. It got to peaked at number 22, was there for like 22 weeks. It did really, really well, especially for indie. And, so they'll hear that and they're like, okay, well then, why isn't she doing that? But I think what I love, like Sarah Vaughan, she said it perfectly. She said, I'm not a jazz singer, I'm not a soul singer, a gospel singer, I'm just a singer.
Exactly.
Well, and it's also, it's sort of sad in a lot of ways the way the industry is now, because if you look back at artists like the Michaels and everyone that Quincy worked with, it was all about reinventing yourself. So your sound could be totally Prince. I mean, his albums would be totally different from what they were previously. And now it's like everyone, since if you sell a certain amount or if you have a certain look or image, they want you to stay in that lane throughout the course. And it's like, why? You know, it's more interesting if an artist is able to show all of their ranges.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of music, period.
Right.
And I know I can say definitely one thing that I appreciate about your album is I grew up in a very heavily influenced jazz household.
Oh, nice.
And I very much appreciate that your album, you can tell that there are real instruments being played.
Yeah.
Not like,
That's what I love.
you know, electric sounding guitar. It's like a real person standing there in front of a microphone with a guitar. So
Yeah.
I appreciate
Aw,
that.
thank you.
I love that. Like
That means
you
a
can
lot.
really hear the true musicianship in your album. So
Thank
kudos to
you.
you.
That means a lot. I produced it with my production partner Tony Shepard, and the musical integrity was very important to us.
Yeah.
And so it's very rewarding to hear you say that.
Yeah. I mean, you do it all. You're producing, writing,
Right.
singing, performing, actress now. Congratulations. You just filmed a Lifetime
Thank
film
you. Yeah.
based on the Clark sisters. And you got to be able to sing if you're going
Right. You
be
can't
part
mess
of
with the Clark sisters.
Oh,
You can't
you
sing,
can't
so
mess
we
with
know
the
you can
Clark
sing.
sisters
Yeah.
now. Come
Right.
on now. And honestly, it was so thrilling. We just we filmed it in Toronto. I don't know if y'all remember, but it was brutally cold. I mean, it was like crazy snowstorms. Even the people
Yeah.
in Toronto were like, "We haven't seen this weather in
That's what
20
they say. Yeah,
years."
that's what they say. Yep.
One day we were driving. I was like, "Lord, we gonna make it?"
Yeah.
It was like blinding snow. But it was honestly one of the just most thrilling experiences to play them, because I grew up on them, you know, and I'm Dorinda.
Okay. Yes.
And I've been able to meet her, and she's just such a beautiful, beautiful woman of God inside and out, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I'm excited. I
Me
mean,
too.
who
And
doesn't?
yeah, we're singing live in it. It's I think it's going to be really important to just what's happening musically right now,
Yeah.
and just in film, because it's not a lot
No,
going
it's
on
not.
where you see people singing live and it's real and it's authentic, and you know, like you said, that musical integrity, that it's like we're not going to cut corners on this.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful to the director Christine Swanson, who had that vision.
Christine's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's A plus. Now, obviously, you do both, and music is your fundamental key that you start off with. But do you see acting as something that you'd like to do a lot more of in conjunction with singing, or are you like, I want to focus still more on singing, and then if these acting roles come in, I'll play around with them a little bit?
That's where I am right now.
Okay,
Yeah. Trying to figure that out. I do know one thing. I did catch the bug.
Okay.
I did. I love it. I absolutely love. I love going over the takes over and over. That didn't bother. I thought that would bother me. Like
Yeah.
oh God, really again, again, really. But I loved it. I loved the process, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did because I love singing so much.
Yeah.
But I would absolutely love to do more roles. Now, how it fits in with the music, that's what I'm trying to figure out now, because I do understand that, you can't do everything at once,
Right.
and I don't want to get burnt out. I don't want
Yeah.
one thing to suffer because of,
The other, yeah.
the other, and vice versa. So I'm finding my way. I'm finding my way with that, but I do know if a role was offered to me, that
You're on it.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm totally on it. And there's actually already some things that are kind of coming down the pipeline that I'm going to be involved with later on this year. So it seemed like the acting snowball is
It's
starting
running.
to roll. Yeah.
It's running. And I know, as you just talked about your Lifetime movie, but is there somebody that you would love to play, a big screen movie?
Ooh. There is. Nancy Wilson.
Ooh. Interesting. I could, you know what? I could see that. I see that.
Yeah, it was funny because on one of the wigs I wore on set, it kind of looked like her a little bit. And when I put it on, I was like, I actually posted on my Instagram. I was like, what if I did a role of Nancy Wilson? I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, speaking into existence.
Just speak it. I mean, what's the harm? So
Hey, I agree. Speaking to existence.
whoever's out there, you want to do a Nancy
Right.
Wilson film?
You heard it here on BHL first.
Yes.
So you got to come back and promote it when it happens.
Yes.
You know I will. And
Come
it
back.
has to be you guys.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
it
This
has
is
to
the
be.
tradition right here.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, of course, we know that you've worked a lot with Quincy Jones, but you've also worked a lot with David Foster. How has that relationship been?
Oh, love that man to death. I mean, he is also a part of the special as well, and so I've been touring with him for a couple of years. I met him through Stevie Wonder. They were working on an album together. And I actually have to talk about Stevie. I'll talk about him a little bit later.
Yeah.
But that's how I met him, and I just started doing events with him, and so his musicality is obviously just as broad.
Yeah.
So I do, on his show, the Tony Braxton Unbreak My Heart, I'll do the Bodyguard medley. Of course, Whitney Houston. I'll do Through the Fire, Shaka Khan. I'll do the duet with Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole, Unforgettable. I do this duet where it's Barbra Streisand and Celine Dion. I do the Barbara. I'm the Black Barbara.
The Black Barbara.
And I'm thinking, am I missing anything? So it's like that's what I do on his show.
Okay.
And so I was really happy that he was so gracious to be on my PBS special, and we did some of those songs that I do on his tour. We did the Bodyguard medley, but then we also did Somewhere from West Side Story that Barbara, of course, has made, iconic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But I put my own spin on it.
But you're spin. And you work with so many greats. Who was someone you would like to work with on an album as well?
Man,
I know there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
And it could be someone current, or it could be someone not, older.
Right. There's so many people that I love and would love to collaborate with. I really, really love the musicality of Bruno Mars.
Oh yeah.
Bruno's dope.
He's
He's got
so
serious
dope,
range.
and he's somehow has been able to make a extremely musical presentation, mainstream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is a balancing act like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
So I would love to just do something with him, and just see what he would want to do with me.
Yeah.
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 And it's
one of the best.
for me to I'm so used to I do the writing, I do the producing, and I play piano, and so it's like I'll lay it down, and then, but it would be kind of nice for someone just to see, what I do and what I bring, and say, you know what, I have this song for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think let's hear you do this.
Yeah.
So I'm actually at a point now where I'm like, man, what kind of record am I going to do next? Because this was a specialty album.
Okay.
It was very specific. This is a tribute album to these writers. But when it comes to me as a songwriter, me as an artist and my voice, there's so many lanes I could go in. Like, do I go
Sure.
back to
Okay.
R&B? Do I do a soul? Do I do another kind of jazz American songbook kind of record, almost like the female Michael Bublé?
Yeah.
Okay.
That lane is wide open.
Yeah, yeah.
Natalie
Yeah.
Cole, when she passed, that she left that lane wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
there's so many different, ways that would all mean something to me,
Yeah.
and are all very authentic to who I am. But
Yeah.
I just gotta choose one.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask. For those who aren't familiar with you, how would you describe who you are as an artist?
I know I'm all of those things, because it's like I can't separate it. So when I do sing a song like "What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life," which is, like you said, this orchestral, American songbook standard, I'm still gonna like bring my approach to it.
Yeah.
So like there might be like one lick in there that like, oh, where'd that come from? But that's like that came from the church. And Whitney would do that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
She would, she's doing "How Will I Know" or "I Want to Dance with Somebody," but she gonna put that gospel
She does.
run in
Yeah.
there.
She did,
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't separate it, and so that's. To me, again, it goes back to just being a singer,
Yeah.
and I sing from my soul and I sing from my heart, and it's real to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the people that do know me as an artist, they go hard for me because because they feel that they have a very intimate connection.
Yeah.
I don't quite have the beehive yet, but
It's all right. It's coming.
but
And you go ahead
but the
and think
ones
of your
that
name.
are there, they really feel passionate about
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
and it's really cool. But yeah, we need to think of a name.
Yeah, you gotta get a
Yeah.
name together.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do have some ideas.
All right, share.
Okay, so my nickname is Shay,
Yes.
and my mom used to call me Shay Bay. So I was thinking, what if I called them the Shay Bays? Baes.
That's
my
cute.
like my Shay Bays.
I like
Yeah.
that. Actually, I
Is
like
that
that.
cute?
Yeah, Shea Bays. Yeah.
It is
My
really
Shay
cute.
Bays.
Yeah. I like
I
that.
like
That
it.
work? Does
I
that
do
work?
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it works for guys and girls. You male and
There
female.
you go.
Because they bay,
The bay. Yeah, Shea
exactly.
Bays.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm feeling that.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Branded.
Shay Bays. Where my Shay Bays at? I love y'all.
I like that.
I like it too. That's
Okay.
super cute, super cute. All right, so I want to know if you, how can I phrase this? Of all of the people that you've worked with, what has been one of the best pieces of advice to keep yourself healthy in the right mind in this industry? Because there's a lot of mess.
Yeah.
How do you stay in the right frame of mind with all of the distractions and everything that's going on?
You know, it's funny. I don't even remember this guy's name, but I remember I had just done this tribute to Hal David. It was at the Songwriters Hall of Fame Awards, and I remember thinking, like, what am I doing at this show? Sting opened the show. Steven Tyler. You know, it was literally just like everybody in the industry was in that.
Yeah.
In that audience. Clive Davis, Berry Gordy, Smokey Robinson. It was like the Grammys, you know. I might as well have been singing for the Grammy. Elton John. I mean, I just remember looking, I'm like, wow. So I remember I sang this song. I had just done it at the White House, Anyone Who Had a Heart. And I ended up getting a standing ovation. And it was to me, it was crazy because nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew who I was. I didn't even have an album out at that time.
Wow.
And I had just gotten in because I had just, you know, Hal David had just passed. And so they were honored. They actually made one of the awards in his name.
Okay.
I think the Starlight Award. And so I remember this guy, he came to me, he said, you know, you were amazing. You have this beautiful gift. He said, but do not get caught up in the bullshit.
Yeah.
He was like, all of, you know, the accolades and, oh, you're the best thing and all that. He's like, none of that shit is real.
Stay humble.
None of it is real. He said, what is real is your family, the love of your family. He said, I don't know what you believe, but, you know, if you believe in a higher power, God, that's all that's real. Everything, all this angel dust, whatever you're feeling right now, like, none of it's real.
Yeah.
That's some great advice. actually.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me. I don't
Seriously.
even know where the guy, I never knew his name. It was just a stranger that was just at that awards and just felt the need and to just take me to the side and say that. And it's really stuck with me. You know, because what is real is the impact of what your music does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that other stuff, it's not even real.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like one day you're in, one day you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
You
This
know?
industry's
Yeah.
so fickle.
It's so fickle. So it doesn't. But what is real is a song. You know, the impact of a song that will be with you forever.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, I mean, in going to Stevie, I mean, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. That will forever be ingrained. The moment that President Barack Obama became president, I will forever
Yes.
connect that song with that moment.
Same.
Both times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's what's real.
Yeah.
You know, and I that's something that it keeps me grounded. Like you said, it keeps me humble. It
love
keeps
that.
it makes me realize that, honey, don't believe the hype. Hype could be here one day and gone the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
what's real is the gift that God gave you. That's what's real. And when you are able to like reflect that back and use it and like realizing that this is something bigger than me,
Yeah.
that's what gives you peace, even when you're not like popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
What's that song that gets you lit? Like when you were like, you know what I'm saying? What's that song that when you in a little mood or you feeling some kind of way,
Yeah.
you turn it on and you like, hell yeah, that's my shit.
I forgot. Was I not supposed to say the SH?
Oh, you
No,
can,
you're
it's
good.
okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just quoting someone. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. Man, what gets me lit? I don't know.
Because everybody's got that one song that's like when it comes on, you're like, oh yeah, I don't care what mood I'm in. I mean, you know.
I know.
Or maybe what's the last hot track that you listened to that maybe you were working out, maybe you were just chilling at home, but that one song that was like, okay, it could be old school, it could be something new. Or every time you hear it, it just puts you in that good space.
Well, I have to say, it has to be like anything from the Marvin Gaye album, I Want You.
Okay.
I feel you on that.
Like, if I'm feeling some kind of way, I put that one on, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
this feels good.
I literally was
Yeah.
rolling the other day, and What's Going On came on the radio, and I had to call my mom and be like, "Man, this song is just so deep, and the soul in that song,
Right.
you just feel it. You feel
do.
it. You
do.
feel it. Still, you feel
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
song's almost 30 years old.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
What's your turn up song?
What's my turn?
Yeah, give me some ideas since I was kind of like stuck with
Wow. It's probably gonna be a Prince track. I'm gonna be honest. with
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Like maybe a little like If I Was Your Girlfriend, Ballad of Dorothy Parker. Or anything Drake. Now it's like Drake. Drake gets me every time. Any Drake song.
Drake, Prince. These are very different.
I know, extremely different worlds. But like if I hear Drake, it don't matter.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood.
I like
Yeah.
Drake too. I really like Drake too. What about you?
I'm
What's your
saying-
turn up?
My turn up at any time, I don't care what mood I'm in, is going to be Juvenile, Back That Ass Up. Taking over for the 99
mad at
and
that.
2000. But then, the next song on the list could be Donny Hathaway, so you just never know.
Yeah, I feel you.
Right.
I like everything.
Yeah. but she still got that strong musicality though. She still knows what's
Yeah.
what.
Right.
Exactly. I can go from ratchet
But
to
she's
class.
still gonna back that ass
Right.
up though.
Ratchet to classy. Right.
Exactly,
Right. I
With
feel
the
that.
hair, all of that.
I feel that.
I got it. I love it.
Well, we sort of have a tradition here at BHL, and I hope that you are okay with this. So, when we have an artist that comes in, we will, if you could sing, a little acapella of like maybe one of the favorite tracks on your album, so everybody can hear the beauty of your voice. You gave us a little bit
Man.
before
From Good Times.
from Good Times, but a little
Give
something,
us some
something.
feel good.
No pressure though. No pressure.
I know. I'm actually a little hoarse, but it's okay. I'm trying to think what song I should do from. Do you want it to be from the record, or it could just be any
Whatever
song?
you want, but
Whatever
it'd be
your
good if,
soul-
whatever your soul takes you to.
Where my soul? Well, it's funny. I do requests a lot. Like, when I was in Dubai, like the last hour, I would literally go through the audience. So I want to do a piece of a song that you like and a piece of a song that you like.
Okay.
You start, Ash.
It might have to go through a few because I have to know it.
Crap. I'm gonna pick a song from your album. I'll do Make Me Rainbows.
Okay. Oh, that one's kind of hard because I kind of need the big band for that one.
Okay.
But you said the other one you did, you liked.
I Won't Believe My Eyes.
I don't remember all the lyrics.
Okay, just do an Aretha.
And mine's gonna be.
She's like, girl, do something.
And mine's gonna be Marvin. What's going on? Because we just talked about
Okay,
it.
that
So
works.
you
What's
pick
going?
If you don't know the lyrics, okay, we'll pick something else.
Wait, I need a lyric prompter.
Right,
Prompter.
prompter,
Teleprompter,
prompt.
please. Okay, so something from Aretha. It could be anything from
Yeah,
Aretha.
whatever.
Or Stevie, Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see, Aretha. Which one should I do from Aretha? Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired, but then I knew I had to face another day. Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, 'cause you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. Are you married?
No.
I found my future wife right here. Y'all heard on BHL. I just want you to sing to me
BHL.
every night. all
Yes.
right? Every night. We go to
love
church
it.
every day in the house.
I love it. And your song, I
Yeah,
can't
listen, you
forget
didn't
your
even
song.
listen.
I don't have to do it now. I'm good.
I mean,
I'm satisfied.
I'm satisfied. That wasn't even my request, and I'm satisfied. So
Oh, thank you, guys.
Well, you have been such a pleasure to hang out
you
with.
guys are
You dope.
awesome.
Yes.
You gotta come back.
Thank you.
Yes.
And
Please.
y'all,
come
y'all
back.
just let me know. Just let
Yes.
me know. I would love to
Please
be
come
back.
back.
Yes, and we wish you the best success in everything that you're doing. And I'm sure we're going to see you again.
I hope
Right?
so. Yes.
So tell everyone
Online.
where to catch up with you, keep up with you, find your album, social media, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I kept it simple, so everything is at Sheléa Music, SHELEA Music. That's Instagram, Twitter, my Facebook. My website also is www.sheleamusic.com. And my album is streaming on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's everywhere. So go get it. Pretty World, a tribute to Alan and Marilyn Bergman.
And do you have a date yet for the Lifetime?
Not yet. No,
Not yet,
no.
okay.
It's still very, but I will say they are going to announce the cast tomorrow.
Okay.
Ah.
You can find me at Dario Kristen on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and on my show on CBS, This Is LA, which will be coming out in May. So, and watch Black Hollywood Live.
Yes, he's doing big things. All right, you guys know where to find me, Ashley Allen, on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen. And until next time, we'll see you right here on BHL.
Download that album, y'all.
Yes.
Yay!
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content. And be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.